Check this out. Food waste product. One log left over. It is red hot. And let's try to take this apart now. Look at this. In this video, we're going to be burning these sugarcane heat logs in my fireplace. Let's get into it. So the plan is that we're going to weigh out 3 kilos of this. We're going to check how well does it burn, what kind of heat can it kick out, and how long will it burn for. But what an extremely interesting product. Let's take a closer look. 3 kilos of this to test today. And one packet of this actually cost £6.50. So that's 2.5 kilos. Look at that, bang on 3 kilos. We've weighed out 3 kilos. It's time to set the fireplace up. Let's go. You know me by now, I'm a massive fan of the top-down method, which is putting your main fuel on the bottom, a little bit of kindling, 1 or 2 firelighters, and the kindling and the firelighters are going to warm your flue system up, working its way down into your main fuel, giving you those good burn times and a nice clean burn at the same time. So let's light this up. Got the firelighters and the kindling going now. It's time to just open up both vents, the top and the bottom vent. It's going to be a really interesting test. I think it's a really interesting product as well. Sugarcane heat logs, I've never heard of it. So as you guys know, these man-made heat logs go up like rocket fuel sometimes, and we've got to really be on our fire here just in case this is one of those products. So I've got to stick close to the fire and I've got to ease things in gently. But we're going to ramp the temperature up, we're going to get into optimal, and we're going to see what kind of heat and burn times we can kick out of these bad boys. So at the start of the test, as you can see, we've got 7 of these sugarcane heat logs in there. Got a little bit of kindling, and we are starting from cold as always. I always like to do it from cold because it's a real world environment. The fan's not even going round yet, and we just set up for the evening. Just look how pretty those flames are in there coming off that kindling. That is magic. So while the fire's burning back there, let's talk a little bit about the product a second. So it says on the packet that it's made from natural food waste sugarcane. So I'm guessing it's a byproduct of a lot of the sugarcane market out there. Which, look, if that can be done sustainably, I'm all for it. You know, the question is it viable to buy one of these? So look, 3.5 kilos of this stuff cost me £6.50, which works out approximately £1.86 per kilo, and that's picking up a 3.5 kilo packet from a local supermarket. Now, I like to give you a price per kilo based on what I have purchased, just to give you a rough idea on what this costs based on my findings buying the amount that I buy. So 5 minutes in here, everything seems to be catching really well. Here we are, 10 minutes in. Just check these temperatures out. Look at this. Straight into the lower optimal there. And just take a look at this. It's burning super clean in there, which I love to see. I do get asked a lot how I keep my glass on my stove so clean. Well, this is my favorite product to keep the glass clean, which is the HG stove glass cleaner. There's a link in the pinned comments for this. It is an affiliate link. I do get a small commission for that, which helps towards the channel, but you can also get this stuff in Home Bargains as well, and it's a little bit cheaper in there. Look, I put the affiliate links in there to help people who ask me about what I'm using. But if you want it a little bit cheaper, you can go to Home Bargains, and I won't get no commission at all because this isn't sponsored. This is just what I use personally. I also burn really, really clean fuel. You know, like even today, look how clean this stuff is burning, and I burn those heat logs on a daily basis. And all of the wood that I burn is generally kiln-dried wood, which is really, really clean also. I really do like to burn in that optimal zone that I show you on the temperature gauge in every video. You know, I really think burning hotter equals a cleaner stove, and in the night I never really shut things down either. You know, I do like to burn slightly on the hotter side of things, which I think really, really helps. Luckily enough, we weighed 3 kilos out and there was 1 log left over. Perfect for a little cheeky moisture test. Let's check it out. So I'm gonna dig this right into here, and it's quite soft as well. I've got a reading there of 13.7, which is not bad at all. Furthermore, if you look, each heat log actually looks like it's 3 different pieces. So I'm going to try to take this apart now. Look at this. Oh, So look at that. So this is obviously, there won't be no glue in here. What this will be is heat. So they press these with heat, I bet, like this, and it sticks under its own temperature. Which, to be fair, that would make decent kindling. You know, if you just chop them up like that. Pretty cool. So at the 15-minute mark now, you can see everything's roaring away lovely in there. We're right up into the optimal range as well. We're just going to turn down the bottom vent. Now, when it comes to the bottom vent, if you haven't got one, don't worry about it. But if you do have one, you don't have to use it. Just play around and see what works for you. I'm going to be shutting down the top vent here until the flames calm down. So let's turn it down by about 50% there. You can see it changing in there. Look at that. And it'll take, you know, five minutes or so to really settle down in there, and you'll just hone it in, you know. As you know, log burner owners, wood stove owners, fireplace owners, we really got to hone in our dials, you know, to our own personal needs, and that's what it's all about, and that's the fun. So at the half an hour mark here, we're running about 450 Fahrenheit, which is about 250 Celsius, approximately in that area. So we're just over mid-optimal. And I genuinely don't know what to expect here with this particular product. You know, I've never seen it before. You know, it's all new to me. This Sugarcane heat logs, like, who's heard of that? Personally, not me. But so far, so good. Look, it's caught fire really, really well. It's actually got up to temperature really, really well as well. But how long will these heat logs last? Have a guess in the comments below. It's fair to say these things can kick out some heat. Just take a look at this. Look at that in there. So when opening the door there, you do get a really nice aroma. It smells kind of sweet but grassy. It's a really, really pleasant smell, actually. Really surprised by how well this thing smells. It smells fantastic. But as you can see, the flames are going crazy in there. So this is a perfect time, actually. We'll do this live, and we'll just turn it down slightly there. And we just want to calm the flames down, and as the fire is working its way through the fuel, well, this is with any fuel, you really got to be proactive and just kind of adjust things as you go through the evening, which is really, really key. But as you can see now, they are red hot in there, and they are kicking out some tremendous heat. So 45 minutes in here, we have the heat logs are starting to split apart. Look at that. You know, it's always interesting to kind of see how, you know, each fuel kind of reacts in the fire and how it changes form. You know, some fuels stay the same for a long time, but these ones have started to split quite quickly, you know, within 45 minutes. But we still have a lot of fuel on the fire. Look at it. Here we are at the hour mark. I'm really impressed with how clean these burn. Look at that. Pristine. And just check the temperature out. Look at this. High optimal. We're running about the 250 Celsius there, which is about 500 Fahrenheit or so in that area. But we do have a really nice little hot spot there in the fire, which I'm going to check out with the infrared thermometer. So let's open the door, and I'm just going to shine it in that little gap there where all that heat is building up. But let's see. So that's right in that little gap of a hot spot there. Just take a look at that. Oh no, we maxed it out. This thing only goes up to 600 Celsius, which is crazy. That is some hot, hot temperature. So here we are at the hour and a half mark. What we're going to do now is open the door, and we're going to look at the composite material that's left in there. I like to do this with new fuels just to see, right, after an hour and a half of burning, is it still hard or soft? Sometimes you get fuels that are soft, which burn out pretty quickly, but the ones that stay harder for longer tend to burn for a lot longer. So let's check the temperatures out, and let's look at the composite material. So generally, day to day, I wouldn't do this. But for the videos, I think this is a good thing to include, where we just check the composite material on the fuel to see if it's hard or soft. So watch this. So that's just like ash on the top of there. Look at that. This bit's a little bit harder there. And they are very soft, these ones. Very, very soft. Let me zoom you in there. Just check this out. It's such a weird, it's such a strange construction, you know? Very strange, but burning extremely clean. So quite an unusual construction. It felt really, really soft there. We're going to check back in now in about half an hour, 45 minutes, and see what the material looks like then. So an hour and 45 minutes in here now, we are starting to see the flames in there die down quite drastically actually, and it's just that flicker of flame going on. I'm going to turn up the air vent there about 20-30% or so, so I'm opening up the vents to see if there's a little bit more life left in these yet. As you can see, opening the top vent there another 20-30% has definitely helped things in there. But as you can see here, look, at the hour and 45 minute mark, we are bang in the middle of optimal, which is perfect. But as you can see, things are starting to die down. I wonder how long this will burn for. At the 2 hour mark, just check this out, look at that. You know, quite a bit has burnt down at this point, but we are still bang in the middle of optimal. Look at that, perfect. 2 hour mark here, I just want to do another composite material test just to kind of see how easy this breaks up. So just check this out now, and I'm not putting hardly any pressure on you. Look at that, it is red hot in there. And I wouldn't normally do this, you know, I'm just doing this for the video so we can see what it's actually doing amongst everything there. So it looks like the ash is actually keeping everything really warm in there, and it's kind of protecting it, insulating it in a way, which is really interesting. It's fair to say that this is dropping down drastically. Look at this. We are just under mid-optimal there, still in the optimal zone though. And we still do have some nice embers, perfect for the next fire. Do you know when you come back to your fire and it looks like this? This is how I like to refuel my fire. So when you come back to your fire, sometimes you'll see this, where you'll get some nice hot embers like this. And look at this in here. So I like to spread it out evenly throughout the fireplace, just like this. We do have one sugarcane heat log left, so we'll chuck that on. Generally, give it a couple of minutes and you'll get this result. So 3 kilos of the sugarcane heat logs actually burned for 2 hours and 12 minutes. And from a food waste product, I don't think that's too bad really. The only thing for me that lets it down is actually the price at nearly £1.90, £1.80, £1.90 per kilo. It's quite expensive. But I'm really interested what you guys think of this product in the comments below. I can't wait to have a little chat with you in the comments below about this. If you'd like to check out some more fun videos just like this one, they're on the screen now. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Pow!